All right, let's look at how to solve this problem. It's one of the homework problems in 5.3. It says a test to determine whether a certain antibody excuse me, is present is 99.7% effective. This means that the test will accurately come back negative if the antibody is not present, 99.7% of the time. The probability of a test coming back positive when the antibody is not present, a false positive, is 0.003. Suppose the test is given to 4 randomly selected people who do not have the antibody. Don't know why I'm having a hard time with that word. What's the probability that the test comes back negative for all 4 people? So basically, the test comes back negative. That means they don't have the antibody, which is a good thing. So notice that it says the people are selected randomly, and so that tells us the events are independent. And so the probability that basically you have negative and negative and negative and negative, 4 negatives, is equal to each of those probabilities multiplied, like the probability of a negative times the probability of a negative, and so on. And so in this case, 99.7% would be 0.997. That's the probability of a negative. Now I could write 4 of these multiplied, but I'm just going to go ahead and write this to the 4th power. And if you plug that into your calculator, you get 0.9881. 0.9981. So that's the answer to the first question. Now on part B, it says, what is the probability that the test comes back positive for at least one of the 4 people? Okay, so when we see at least, we should be thinking of using the formula for the complement. So the probability of the complement of E is equal to 1 minus the probability of E. Now let's think about this. So at least 1 is positive. That means we do not have 4 negatives, because we have 4 tests. And so at least 1 positive means we don't have this. Now basically at least 1 positive is the complement to all 4 of them being negative. In fact, an example here would be if we'll say the first one's positive and the other ones are negative. And it doesn't matter how many positives we have, we're going to have at least 1 among our outcomes here. And so these 2 events are complements. Well, we know the probability of not getting 4, or I should say the probability of getting 4 that are negative, or in other words, it's not the case that at least one of them is positive. And so again, these are complements. We're going to call this event E, and we're going to call getting at least 1 positive the complement of E. And so now you can see that P complement, or P of E complement, is equal to 1 minus the probability of E, which we just found. It's the probability of 4 negatives. So we get 1 minus 0.9881. And if you do that subtraction, you should get 0.0119. Let me just go ahead and put that right here. All right, and so that's going to be it for this one.